You're out.
Okay, so now we are talking about McLaren and Ferrari, right? So what do you think about Ferrari's performance? Pretty much clocking out most laps out of the whole thing.
They
Like
hit.
almost the most laps
No,
in
not
every single
all.
day.
Yeah, but overall they hit the
Yeah,
300 plus, the golden number of laps in 3 days.
yeah.
That is a
I'm
lot.
I, I'm cautiously optimistic.
That's the word.
I'm stupid, and that's why I'm very optimistic. It's like the meme that Arpit once shared. It's a person who's saying, "Oh, the Ferrari looks very good during preseason," and then the other goes, "It's just
It's just
preseason.
testing.
It's just preseason testing." And not even testing, pre-season track
Uh,
session. The testing comes in
yeah.
Bahrain now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know why. I think it started. I think what happened was Red Bull and Mercedes, right? They were the ones who were fighting for the championship. The everything about uh, F1 at the end of the last 3-4 races was Verstappen versus Hamilton. It wasn't even who's going to win the constructor championship. It was all about who wins the driver, right? And but I think one team which kept on quietly just after their Turkey, where they got the new hybrid system, the ERS, the high voltage thing in the ERS. I Ferrari has been the team. I feel that they have started to get things right. They are in on the ascendancy. They're setting good records. Like their average pit stops has gone down by like half a second or something, average across the two seasons, which is phenomenal in this thing. You remember when we used to watch last time, and whenever a Ferrari came in, and we used to be like, oh my god, they're going to do something wrong, they're going to do something wrong, but they
My heart always used to pound. It's like
yeah.
if there was one out of two chances that they fucked up the pit stop
Yeah,
completely.
exactly. But then there was a race, I'm forgetting which one, where they did double stop off Sainz and Leclerc back to back,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
was so efficient. And I was like, okay,
yeah.
that.
I forgot which race that was at. I
Even
think
That was
Russia or
don't
Turkey.
remember. Don't
I'm not
remember.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
but
so. That was also. I was so happy to watch that. I've never seen Ferrari pull off a double stop ever. Okay, Mercedes does that like it's just
yeah,
any other day. It's like double
yeah,
stop.
yeah,
Ferrari
yeah.
never used to do that.
And I just think they took it to the next season. Dude, they've taken all positives. Start of the season, before anything started, the like lot of reporters, Ted Kravitz and everything, they were like, "There's a lot of positive news coming out of this
Yeah,
thing. They're
yeah,
getting a new engine, the complete revamp of everything, the
yeah.
humiliation of 2020 all behind them, and everything." And then looking at the car, oh, I love the car, dude. I I
It really is a thing of beauty. The car. I mean, the swimming pool memes aside,
I
okay, the car still looks absolutely stunning.
yeah.
it's beautiful. It's it's I people love it so much that right now, if you've seen the Leclerc going up and down because of the proposing or
Purposing.
porpoising or something like that, and the memes and everything like Leclerc just chilling on the main straight or something like that. Something. So everyone is liking it. Everyone is saying Ferrari had an awesome one, and 300 laps plus in pre-season track sessions. I think that's really good. That's really good.
I think they did more than. I think they did 400 plus laps, right?
No, 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 300 plus.
No, no. I think they did
That is
150
after,
in
yeah.
each
300
session.
plus was after the second day of this.
Yeah, they did 150 in each session. So
Oh,
they did almost 450 laps, if I'm not wrong. 450, 460 laps they did.
oh.
Yeah.
But they're
Last
the
one, I
team.
think they did like 131 laps or
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just 131. I mean, yeah. I mean, what a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, but they reliability looks good.
Yeah, reliability.
Reliability looks good. Car
Yeah.
performance also looks
Looks
looks good. I don't want to say it, but
No, let's
okay.
not say it.
I mean, there is a lot of positive buzz around the paddock, not just from Ferrari, right? Like all the other teams are talking about it.
all the
Everyone,
teams.
all the other teams are talking about it, and
Do you know Hamilton came up, or Ricardo came up, and they said they'll go like there's a certain red team which has the fastest engine. They go like that. There's a certain red team which has the fastest engine. Maybe they're talking about the Alfa Romeo, but I don't know.
I mean, they have the same engine.
Yeah.
Alfa Romeo
But
could
yeah,
be.
yeah. Oh, I feel it's good. It's a 2 versus 1, right? Arpit really likes the McLaren. Like me and Shri are like.
I do like the Ferrari more than the McLaren, but I think I like the McLaren's. So basically, like if you separate the body from the livery, right? Then I like McLaren's livery more, but Ferrari's car body is just, it looks kick-ass. It's so muscular, it looks kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So like, and with that, the whole livery also fits quite well.
But I think the
Yeah.
McLaren, right? There's something with the color which just like
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
not
sit.
pleasing to my eye.
It
to be
doesn't
honest.
sit with good with me as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Too much blue or-
the classic McLaren orange. I've loved it always, right? But this is not the classic McLaren orange. I think it has to be a bit more glossy, and then maybe a lighter orange. Maybe.
I think what you're talking about is like it needs to be a little bit lighter and more toned
Yeah.
down than how it is this season.
Yeah, and the blue, lines just don't go well, in my opinion. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
McLaren is my least favorite car design this season.
That's what I have been talking about as well. Like it is the most divisive car on the entire grid for sure. Like,
Yeah. Oh.
Nobody out there is going, the Haas looks beautiful. Okay, but with McLaren, you are seeing both the opinions where like there is a set of people who are just going like it looks absolutely beautiful, and like I think it also goes down to like what kind of a taste in, for example, like clothing and all that you have as well. Like for example, you don't really imagine Schumacher wearing like a purple hoodie with green font on top. But you do see like Daniel Ricciardo pull that off pretty well.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
So it really comes down to that as well. Like Ferrari and McLaren is kind of the absolute opposites in terms of the livery style. Like Ferrari went absolutely classic and McLaren went a little bit too urban for most people's taste.
Is it because
Maybe,
they
yeah.
expected McLaren to do better? Because I think by far, right, the Gulf livery was the best livery I've ever seen for a while.
For sure.
Yeah, right. So everybody thought that McLaren would come up with a good livery, maybe. The car is good. The car is good.
Car is
pretty good.
surprisingly good actually, because
performance
honestly, like even with Ferrari's interesting, like everybody did a lot of very interesting things to the aero as well as the suspension. So I was honestly expecting to see a lot worse performance from pretty much like I always thought that one of these two is going to like really suck in terms of their choices. And I really thought that it was going to be the McLaren that's going to suck. Just because like the push rod design on the front
yes.
is something that everybody was a little bit skeptical about as soon as they released it.
And but did they do a push rod? They did a pull rod and a push rod. I think they're the only team.
So it's generally a pull rod on the front, push on the rear. They did the other way around.
All right.
But Norris topped the charts day one. Then day two, Ricardo
Day two was Ricardo, right?
in the first session.
Yeah. Actually, Norris set the fastest time on day one, and then up until day three when Hamilton beat it, it was unbeaten. Hamilton and Russell both beat it actually.
Yeah.
I think they were in the early 119s, right? 119.1,
Yes,
119.2.
Yeah.
I think Norris set
Seriously,
119.5.
119.5 by Norris.
Yeah.
Right. The car is fast.
The car is surprisingly
The car is fast.
Yeah, the car looks good.
Yeah. Is it going to be better than the Ferrari?
I honestly don't know.
I think it's hard to gauge.
Again,
Yeah.
It's hard
Very
to
hard to
gauge.
gauge.
Preseason
I think
track session.
in terms of reliability, I think the top 4 teams are on par.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all had, they had no blimps during testing. Yeah, but Red Bull's Perez's car broke down once, right? Other than that, I think,
Yeah. But I think transmission issue. I think that
transmission
they
issue,
would fix that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I have a feeling it's going to be close between the top 4 teams.
I'll
What do we
actually talk about one thing though. So, Like last season, one of the very interesting thing that we saw that happened with McLaren, and I think this is quite related to the strategy that Mercedes also took, which was just like hot swapping engines whenever you feel like it will get the best performance, which is a strategy that McLaren did not really take it up, right? And I think McLaren really suffered as a result because like their engine performance started dropping pretty drastically at the latter end of the season.
Yeah. It
And
didn't matter to Mercedes.
Ferrari got an upgrade.
25 grid penalty. Okay, I don't care. I'll still win it.
Exactly. It was like it didn't matter, right? You just change the whole engine. Yeah, I'm gonna win the races from the two races.
Yeah.
To
I think
go
they
on.
also don't have like I think when you get an engine from another
Yeah.
team, you can't just like hot swap engines when it's not as cheap to you as it is
Yeah.
to the other team.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, that
But
is
so
true.
like what I'm wondering about is uh will Mercedes still have that massive drop of performance at the latter end of the like after 3 or 4 races essentially is what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
going
mean,
to
It'll
be
be
a new
interesting to see.
engine, so it's hard to say, but like
but why would they change it? Like learning from last year, they would be like, fine, I'll take the 25. It's easier to follow cars. I won't have Mercedes will not be, hopefully, won't be worse in dirty air. The Mercedes engine. So
Mhm.
yeah, you might as well just take it. I don't know speculations whether they have fixed it, whether they have gradually, the performance is going to decrease, something like that. Yeah.
I think the gradual performance decrease is a common thing across all
Across
the engines, right?
other
Not just
engines.
Mercedes. But I think the performance drop off for Mercedes was just a bit more
Too.
drastic
Yeah.
yeah,
compared to the other teams. The first two races, rocket ship.
yeah,
No team can come close. But then once the performance drops off, I think it's on par with the Hondas and the Ferraris in
yeah.
terms of raw power.
So like my prediction basically is that like we could see another, that the way we saw that swap in positions between Ferrari and McLaren at the latter end of the season last
Hmm.
season. I'm wondering if we'll see a similar thing if the engine issues are not fixed. But like very, very speculative, but I'm
I think the
interested in seeing what happens
swap
there.
in positions between McLaren and Ferrari was not because McLaren's engine was dropping off. I think Ferrari made
Ferrari made that change
improvements.
because
No, but
still
McLaren's performance also dropped. Like McLaren, all of a sudden was finding it a little bit tough to compete with AlphaTauri. Like it was going on
Yeah,
that level
yeah,
where
yeah,
like
true.
they were
yeah,
not
yeah.
Yeah,
able to perform. Their engine performance
yeah.
was just going
I
downwards.
think the last race they were good was Monza,
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
right? Monza,
Yeah.
and that was it. Like that was the highlight of the season. They won it, 1 and 2, and then that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they were good in Russia as well until Norris
Yeah.
Until
didn't go into
yeah,
the pits.
Until the
yeah, yeah,
thing that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
but it's going to be good. Both the cars, both Ferrari and McLaren are good. It's hmm. It's too tough to call, like what you said, between the top four, right? But looking
Yeah.
at Ferrari and McLaren both, I expected Ferrari to be way much better, but I think McLaren is right there with them. It's not a huge gap that I thought, oh, there's so much positive with Ferrari, so it's going to be way ahead of McLaren. Don't know because again, it's pre-seasons, pre-testing basically. So you don't know how many fuel loads, what are the settings and everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
but it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching another episode of Spurs Brew. If you like the content that we are putting up, click on the subscribe button, like the video, and share it among all your friends. Until next time, see you.